Alright, I'm going to get those bolts off now. They're very short. Be careful. They'll come off fast. That's what they look like. That's the third one. Here's the last one. Now, there is nothing holding this unit in right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach our left hand behind here, grab a hold of the fan, and so it doesn't pull out with the alternator. Keep that right there so it doesn't bind on us. You can wiggle it a little bit. There. It's off the fan. Now we'll just pull straight up. And I push the fan back a little bit. Ah, you bugger. The hub stayed on the fan, which normally doesn't happen. And I think I know why. I put a little excess grease on there. Normally the hub is keyed and it stays, whoops, and it stays right on. Alright, let me get that so you can see it. Now if you want to remove the fan like I did to inspect it, just pull it right out. It's a real tight fit. Just like that. That's the fan. Now when I took it off the first time, this is what I saw. I saw a scrape mark right here. And then I saw a scrape mark along the outer diameter of the fan right here. So now what I did is after I repaired this, I put some black paint to cover up the marks in case it wasn't the problem, or if it happens in the future I can see those marks and know that it's hitting. And you can see that this part right here that's painted, it's not hitting anymore. So the repair that I did worked, which I will show you right now how to repair that if that fan, the back of this fan, touches this cover right here. Now to fix the problem so the fan does not hit this cover is we have to add a shim to this. So we want to put a little grease there. So what that will do is it will hold our shim in place. Because what you'll be doing is putting it down in there, and that could fall off. So that grease will keep that shim right there. Now here is what the fan will look like when it's back in place on the alternator. Now the tricky bit is to get the washer on correctly. You can see that the washer has flats on it. Now I've seen it where people have tried to put it on like this and run into problem. What you got to do is when you get back there, you have to feel for that washer to drop in on the flats like that. See, just like that. And then what you'll do is you'll put your nut on, and sometimes while the nut's on you'll wiggle it around, make sure that washer is locked in place. There. Now we would be ready to tighten that. Alright, let's put it back together now. Alright, let's put our alternator back in. Make sure that the orientation is right. You can line up the flats before you go in. Get that clamp way back. Alright, now let's line up our fan. Oh, that one dropped in easy. Right on the flats. Rotate your alternator. Have your hand back there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a mirror and I'm going to put the mirror back there and shine the light on it just to make sure that that fan is locked in correctly. Here is a look at through the mirror, and you can see that the fan is right on the flats of that hub, right where they should be. Now I'm going to take that washer and that nut like I showed you, and I'm going to go back there. It's all by feel. I'm starting the nut, letting the washer float. Alright, I get the nut about halfway on. Now I'm going to rotate that washer till she drops down in the flats. There. Let's double check. Alright, she's on. Hold it with a finger and then rotate it, the nut with the other finger, so the washer stays in position. There. It's not going to go anywhere now. It's all lined up. From here, it's a piece of cake. What we'll do is we will put our 3 bolts that secure the cover on, tighten those down, put our band on, put our linkage, hook up our electrical connections and our fan belt, and that's it. The job will be all done. So that's all there is to adjusting the fan on your air-cooled Volkswagen Beetle.